Have you ever wondered if God forgot you because people did? You have prayed, you have served, you have shown up early and stayed late, and yet the room seemed to move on without you. Names were called. Doors opened for others. Your phone stayed quiet. Your efforts felt like a whisper in a world that only rewards the loud. If that's you, this word is for you. We often imagine promotion comes with applause, confetti, and a spotlight. But the truth is, I often start it with isolation. The world calls it silence. Heaven calls it strategy. The world calls it being overlooked. Heaven calls it being hidden for safekeeping. That delay you despise is not denial. It is divine alignment. Listen, your silence has not been your burial. It has been your training ground. I did not put you under to punish you. I placed you there to prepare you. What others meant to mute you, I am using to mature you. Genesis 50:20 is not just a verse, it is a verdict. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring about the saving of many lives. I redeem what they weaponized. I convert harm into harvest. Consider Joseph. He dreamed in his father's house, was stripped and thrown into a pit, sold into Potiphar's house, falsely accused and locked in a prison, and then, suddenly, summoned to a palace. Genesis 37-41. Pit, house, prison, palace, delay, elevation, obscurity, influence. Nothing about that route was random. While his coat was taken, his calling was not. While his freedom was limited, my favor was not. Psalm 105:19 says, "Until the time that his word came to pass, the word of the Lord tested him." The test was training. The silence was syllabus. So if you are sweeping floors nobody praises, managing details nobody sees, interpreting dreams for people who forget your name, do not misread the assignment. Hidden excellence is heaven's language. Quiet obedience is kingdom currency. Keep serving, keep stepping, keep trusting. Do not rush it. Do not resent it. Receive it. I am not stalling you. I am strengthening you. I am teaching you stewardship, not spectacle. Presence, not performance. Character that can carry what your calling will require. And hear this with prophetic urgency. When I am quiet, I am building something loud. Alignment is happening behind the curtain. Threads you cannot see are weaving a scene you will soon step into. The same God who watched Joseph in the pit scheduled Joseph for the palace. I am doing that for you. Today, I'm going to give you 4 confirmations that the prison to palace shift is near, and the obedient steps that keep you ready when the door opens. Because the door is not far. Your task now is posture, humble heart, clean hands, steady pace, expectant spirit. Your hidden season has tutored you well. Get ready to answer when I call. Look at the pattern I wrote into Joseph because I am echoing it in you. He was a favored son, marked with a coat and a dream, and that favor attracted hatred, Genesis 37. He was misunderstood by brothers who should have celebrated him, betrayed by blood, thrown into a pit, priced like cargo, and sold into a house that was not his own. Favored, then hated, dreaming, then dismissed, promised, then pierced, sold, then hidden, and after the hiding, elevated. That is not failure, that is formation, that is the blueprint. Do not sanitize the journey I sanctified. Betrayal cuts, misunderstanding isolates, false accusation stains a name you worked hard to guard. Delay gnaws at your hope and tries to rename your calling as fantasy. Joseph felt it. The pit was dark. The caravan was foreign. Potiphar's house demanded skills he had to learn quickly. And when temptation lied on him and the prison received him, the slam of that door sounded like an ending, Genesis 39. I see the ache you don't say out loud. I count the nights you turned on a pillow wet with honest disappointment. I do not dismiss that pain, I redeem it. Hear what steadied Joseph and let it steady you. The Lord was with Joseph, Genesis 39:2. With him in slavery, with him in stewardship. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him steadfast love and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison, Genesis 39:21. Presence did not always change his location, it changed his formation. My nearness did not always rearrange the room, it rearranged the man. I was not absent in the pit, I was apprenticing him for the palace. I was not silent in the cell, I was shaping a governor in secret. So when I seem quiet, I am building something loud. Quiet seasons are construction seasons. I pour footings under your feet. Character before crown, roots before fruit, stewardship before spotlight, preparation before provision, refinement before release. I install integrity like steel. I align humility like plumb lines. I teach you systems in small rooms so you can save cities in large ones. Faithfulness in Potiphar's house becomes fluency in Pharaoh's court. What you practice in private becomes what you perform under pressure. Here is how you discern my process at work in you. It births endurance, not entitlement, humility, not bitterness, clarity, not confusion, peace, not panic, service, not show, gratitude, not grudge. If the pressure is making you smaller and steadier, that is me strengthening your frame. If the waiting is making you worship instead of wither, that is me widening your capacity. Therefore, keep serving where nobody sees. Keep saying no to shortcuts that promise a throne without a cross. Keep stewarding what is in your hand while trusting me with what is in your heart. Do not rush it. Do not resent it. Receive it. I am not withholding your future. I am welding your future to a life that can carry it. When the scaffolding comes down and the door swings open, you will not be surprised by the stage. You will be the same faithful one I formed in the quiet, ready to build what I have planned. The pit was not the end. It was the first separation. It looked like rejection, but the truth is it was redirection. I removed you from familiar applause so you would stop needing familiar validation. I let the noise fade so my voice could define you. When Joseph's brothers stripped the coat, Genesis 37, they did not strip the calling. They only removed the costume others confused with identity. I will sometimes take you beneath what you think you need, so I can untangle you from what cannot go where I am taking you. Hear me. Separation is mercy in disguise. I am not discarding you. I am distinguishing you. I am not silencing you. I am sanctifying you. The pit detaches you from the committee of comfort, who love you as long as you fit their version of you. The pit ends the addiction to being understood by people I am not consulting about your future. The pit mutes the chorus so the shepherd can call you by name. This is the first temptation of the hidden place, to negotiate your calling down to what people can tolerate, to soften your obedience until it is palatable to the crowd you miss, to talk smaller, dream safer, perform for approval, and call it humility when it is actually fear. Do not rewrite what I said because of where you are. Do not edit the promise to match the pit. Do not trade revelation for acceptance. Do not shrink it. Do not fake it. Do not forfeit it. The steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord, Psalm 37:23. Steps, not standstills. Steps, not stalling. So keep stepping in the dark. Hold your integrity where no one is clapping. Tell the truth when lying would speed relief. Serve with excellence when no platform is promised. Pray when the ceiling feels low. Guard your heart from cynicism. Bless and do not curse. Forgive and do not rehearse. Keep taking obedient steps, not frozen steps. You are not what the pit says about you. You are what I spoke over you. Your environment is not your essence. Your location is not your label. If they took your coat, they did not take your color. If they closed their circle, they did not cancel your assignment. I am using this narrow place to widen your dependence on me, to detox you from permission-seeking, to anchor you in identity that does not wobble with public opinion. So listen to me and live by what I declared. Lay down the need to be invited back to rooms I have already vacated. Stop knocking on doors I closed for your protection. Refuse the comfort of compromise. Pick up the courage of consecration. Keep your hands clean, your heart soft, your pace steady, your confession aligned with my word. When you refuse to bargain away your birthright for belonging, you prove you are ready for the next room. The pit is mercy. The pit is pruning. The pit is the first gate that separates weight-bearers from approval chasers. Endure it with integrity. Move through it with obedience. Keep stepping. I am ordering each one. And when you emerge, you will not be smaller. You will be settled, untethered from what cannot carry the future I am placing on you. Now, watch what I did next with Joseph. I did not airlift him from pit to palace. I enrolled him in a house he did not choose. Potiphar's house became a classroom for authority. Genesis 39:4 says, Joseph found favor in his sight and served him, and he made him overseer of his house. Hear the order: he served, then he was set over. Stewardship before leadership. Apron before robe. Broom before scepter. He did not wait for a title to practice excellence. He let excellence prophesy where titles would one day follow. Do not despise the room you did not choose. The world calls it small. Heaven calls it seed. The world calls it menial. Heaven calls it meaningful. The world calls it a detour. Heaven calls it design. I am the one who hides governors inside custodians, strategists inside servants, deliverers inside assistants. The house you are in, mundane, overlooked, uncelebrated, may be where I am teaching you the systems your future will require. Here is the trap many fall into: craving a platform while resisting a process, wanting visibility while neglecting faithfulness, dreaming of influence while dropping the daily assignments that build credibility. Joseph did not sulk his way through chores. He systematized them. He did not count ceilings. He counted responsibilities and maximized them, because he carried me in the hidden place. Favor located him in a human house. Genesis 39:2-4. That is the pattern. I crown what you consecrate. I expand what you steward. So build rhythms that prove readiness. 1. Consistency. Show up on time. Do the task fully, and let your yes be yes. Matthew 5:37. 2. Competence. Sharpen your skill. Excellence is love your neighbor can feel. Proverbs 22:29. 3. Consecration. Pray over what seems ordinary until my presence saturates it. Colossians 3:23. 4. Credibility. Be reliable with what belongs to others. Luke 16:10 still stands. He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. Let these rhythms preach louder than your resume. Do not say, when I get a bigger room, I will be more diligent. Diligence is the door, not the decor. Do not say, when people notice me, I will bring my best. Your best is the notice. Do not say, when God gives me the palace, I will walk in purity. Purity in Potiphar's house is what keeps you usable in Pharaoh's court. I am measuring you now. I am listening to how you talk about authority while you are under it. I am watching how you handle resources when they are not yours. Honor the house. Bless the hands that hold the keys you do not yet carry. Learn the language of future authority by serving the authority in front of you. Keep serving. Keep showing up. Keep honoring God when nobody claps. Keep serving. Keep showing up. Keep honoring God when nobody claps. If you can be trusted in hidden rooms, you can be trusted in public rooms. And when the summons comes, it will not make you someone new. It will reveal who faithfulness has already formed you to be. And in that same house where you learned to sweep with excellence and lead without a title, the test came wrapped like an upgrade. Potiphar's wife fixed her gaze and said, "Lie with me," Genesis 39:7. Here, the deeper scheme. It was not only lust, it was leverage. It was the promise of a shortcut, proximity to power without the price of purity. We think doors prove God. But the truth is, sometimes temptation is the counterfeit door, painted to look like favor while it saws at the very beams that must hold your future. Joseph answered with allegiance, not arguments. "How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" Genesis 39:9. Notice where he set the boundary line, not merely at Potiphar's reputation, but at my holiness. He refused daily persuasion. He declined private arrangement. And when the room closed in and the hands grabbed the garment, he did not stay to negotiate. He fled and left the proof of his innocence behind. Genesis 39:10-12. That is integrity, choosing consequence over compromise, loss over a lie, obedience over an outcome you can control. Let this become your discernment grid. Peace, not pressure. Conviction, not compromise. Holiness, not hidden deals. If it must be concealed to be maintained, it is not from me. If it requires you to mute your worship to protect your opportunity, it is not from me. If the yes inflates your platform but deflates your purity, it is not promotion. It is a pit with pillows. So take practical steps while the battle is still winnable in the hallway. Flee what feeds the flesh. Do not counsel your cravings. Starve them. 1 Corinthians 6:18, 2 Timothy 2:22. Set boundaries early before you feel brave. Boundaries are wisdom, not weakness. Refuse private negotiations that will demand public repairs later. Bring decisions into the light with godly counsel. Where there is no guidance, a people falls, but in an abundance of counselors there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. Tell on the temptation before it tells on you. Schedule your escape before you need it. Clear calendars, guarded conversations, trusted oversight. Put your no on the calendar so your feelings do not put your calling on trial. Let me gently confront you. You have been relabeling a bribe as a breakthrough. You call it networking that requires you to ignore flags. You call it mentorship that asks for pieces of your conscience as tuition. You call it partnership that pays in exposure while taxing your holiness. Do not baptize compromise with spiritual language. Do not rent your integrity to buy a room I did not assign you. Your breakthrough cannot be built on what your integrity must later destroy. And let me comfort you, you may lose something by doing right. Joseph lost his position, his reputation, and his freedom, but he preserved the vessel that would carry the vision. On earth, it looked like a setback. In heaven, it was a signature, approved for stewardship at scale. I saw the sprint out of the room. I counted the cost you swallowed in silence. I will reward what you refused for my sake. Do not call it failure, call it fidelity. Keep your boundaries. Keep your no sharp and your yes holy. Keep fleeing what flatters your ego but fractures your soul. When the real door opens, you will walk through it light, not loaded with secrets, ready, not ruined by shortcuts. And then the door slammed, not because you sinned, but because you wouldn't. Joseph chose holiness, and the headline read, "Criminal." He ran from compromise and landed in confinement. Genesis 39:20 says simply, "And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison." That is the scandal of this story, and it is the sober truth of obedience. Doing right is not a guarantee of comfort. Faithfulness may cost you rooms you thought were secure. Integrity may narrow your options before it expands your influence. On earth, it looks like losing. In heaven, it reads like qualifying. But listen to the next line that reframes the entire cell. But the Lord was with Joseph. Genesis 39:21. My presence is not canceled by unfair outcomes. My favor does not bleed out when your reputation is pierced. I am not allergic to concrete or keys. I do not stand at the threshold wringing my hands because a human verdict landed heavy. I step inside with you. I share the air you breathe. I weave favor into the very structure meant to confine you. The prison may restrict your movement, but it does not restrict my movement through you. So I turned the cell into a classroom. Leadership under pressure. Learn it here. Emotional regulation. Practice it here. Discernment that can parse motives and manage volatile rooms. Sharpen it here. Patience that does not sour into passivity. Grow it here. Spiritual stamina that prays when promotion is nowhere in sight. Build it here. The keeper of the prison saw what Potiphar saw. Excellence that refuses extinction. Genesis 39:22-23. And while doors stayed locked, capacity expanded. Psalm 105:19 still applies. Until the time that his word came to pass, the word of the Lord tested him. I was tempering steel, not breaking spirit. Here is your obedience in a hard place. Keep your heart soft where the world expects you to harden. Guard it from the root that poisons many, bitterness. Hebrews 12:15. Refuse the slow venom of rehearsed offense. Forgive quickly and often. Lament honestly with me, not loudly to everyone else. Bless those who forgot you. Serve those who cannot repay you. Steward someone else's dream while yours sits on layaway. Show up early. Interpret faithfully. Document what I teach you in the dark so you can deploy it in the light. Soft heart, strong spine, and hear me issue this charge over your soul. Do not break. Do not blame. Do not bow to despair. Do not narrate your future by the sound of present chains. Call the room what I call it, training. Call the time what I call it, appointment. Your circumference may be small, but your assignment is not. Your steps may be counted, but your influence is not capped. I am threading favor through the bars. I am making you fluent in crisis. I am trusting you with authority that does not need applause to be effective. Keep serving, keep stepping, keep trusting. Do not rush it, do not resent it, receive it. I am with you in the narrow place, and I am preparing you for a wide one. When the summons comes, and it will, you will not walk out brittle and bitter. You will walk out built and ready, carrying a presence-tested wisdom the next room desperately needs. And then came the silence inside the silence. You helped, you interpreted, you served, and they said, I'll remember you. But the room went quiet again. Genesis 40:23 records it without apology. Yet the chief cupbearer did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. You know that ache. You thought that one conversation was the hinge. You sensed momentum, saw a sliver of light under the door, and then the footsteps faded. No callback, no mention, just more ordinary days where you had to decide if excellence would still be your language when gratitude was not. Hear me. You thought that connection was your exit, but I would not let a person get credit for what only my timing can do. If someone could open it, they could own it. If someone could claim it, they could control it. I guard your story from the smallness of human signatures. I reserve the moment so there is no confusion about the author of your elevation. Revelation 3:7 still stands. I open and no one shuts. I shut and no one opens. After 2 full years, Genesis 41:1. Do not rush past the weight of that phrase. 2 full years of normal days. 2 full years where a remembered promise would have been convenient, but an aligned purpose was essential. Delay is not denial, it is divine alignment. I was synchronizing people, timing, and authority for a higher outcome. ripening Pharaoh's dreams, ripening a nation's need, ripening your capacity. I was weaving calendars you could not see, aligning conversations you were not in, setting a stage only a crisis could build. I do not waste waiting, I weaponize it. So what do you do when appreciation evaporates and help disappears? Keep your gift sharp in the waiting. Pray like your breath depends on it. Study until truth saturates your instincts. 2 Timothy 2:15. Practice until excellence is reflex. Serve until love becomes your default. Do not let disappointment dull your discipline. Do not let the hope deferred turn into hands withdrawn. Refuse the narrative that says, if they forgot me, I will forget what God put in me. No. Oil your edge. Keep interpreting in small rooms. Keep writing the plan no one asked for yet. Keep rehearsing courage in prayer so your voice does not shake when the microphone arrives. Ask yourself this, and ask it honestly. Am I waiting with worship or waiting with worry? Worry counts the days. Worship consecrates them. Worry refreshes the wound. Worship refreshes the well. Worry stares at a closed door. Worship stares at the doorkeeper. Psalm 27:14 is your posture. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. And Isaiah 60:22 is your promise. At the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Let me confront the subtle idolatry that creeps in here. Stop baptizing connections as saviors. Stop scrolling for deliverers I have not anointed. Stop treating networking like a net that catches what only favor can deliver. Honor people, yes. Expect me always. Keep serving, keep stepping, keep trusting. Do not rush it. Do not resent it. Receive it. I may delay the door so you learn to trust the doorkeeper. And when I call for you, you will rise from obscurity to assignment in a single sentence, shaved and standing before the very authority. My timing prepared you to counsel. Genesis 41:14. Wait with worship. Your suddenly will not be late. Now hear me. When I am about to elevate you, I do not start with fireworks. I start by intensifying 4 witnesses within and around you: courage, clarity, gifting, and acceleration. These are not hype. They are holy signals. Pay attention to them and posture yourself for stewardship, not just celebration. 1. Unusual inner strengthening. Not more comfort, but more courage. The same pressure that used to crush you now reveals a spine that does not snap. The wind has not changed, but your wings have. You find yourself choosing endurance over escape, praise over panic, forgiveness over fury. Isaiah 40:31 is no longer a refrigerator verse. It is your respiration. They who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. You are not asking me to remove the weight. You are noticing I have enlarged your capacity to carry it without complaint. That is a sign. Strength is an announcement that the shift is near. 2. Clarity replaces confusion. I begin to consolidate your focus. Scattered appetites quiet. Lesser opportunities lose their shine. You feel an uncompromising draw toward what matters most. Targeted obedience, precise assignments, holy priorities. Your yes grows stronger because your no grows cleaner. James 1:5 becomes your daily prayer and my daily provision. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, and it will be given. Watch how I simplify your calendar, streamline your efforts, and edit your circle. This is not emptiness, it is alignment. I prune what would steal strength from fruit-bearing branches, peace, not pressure, direction, not distraction. 3. The gift makes room again. You stop advertising, your calling gets summoned. That is Joseph in Genesis 41:14-16, shaved, changed, and standing before Pharaoh at the exact hour a dream needed a decoder. He did not claw, he was called. He did not posture, he was positioned. And here his posture: "It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer." Humility frames the room your gift opens. Expect this sound around you: "I heard you could help. Can you weigh in? We need what's on you." Old seeds begin to sprout in unexpected soil. Your excellence is requested, not just offered. That is me-making room. 4. Sudden divine acceleration. In one day movement. Prison to Pharaoh's presence in a single summons. Genesis 41:14. I compress what they said would take years. Conversations converge. Approvals stack. Delays dissolve. What dragged now flows. Do not fear the speed. Fear only unprepared stewardship. I redeem time, but I never skip training. Acceleration without arrogance. Momentum without mania. Responsibility without loss of reverence. These signs are not slogans. They are invitations. Trim your lamp. Set your house in order. Guard your heart. Prepare your systems. The door you are approaching is not a trophy case. It is a trust. Keep serving, keep stepping, keep trusting. Do not rush it. Do not resist it. Embrace it. Your hidden season was not punishment. It was preparation. I am aligning you for a sudden transition into purpose-filled promotion. When Pharaoh calls, posture first, protocol next, performance last. Hear Joseph's opening line as your non-negotiable compass. It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer. Genesis 41:16. He shaved and changed garments to honor the room. Genesis 41:14. But he did not change his allegiance to impress the room. He adapted to protocol without amputating identity. That is your pattern. Prepare quickly without panicking. Dress the part without becoming the part. Speak with humility. Let competence and character meet opportunity. Influence, not ego. Stewardship, not spotlight. Purpose, not performance. The door is not the reward. It is the responsibility. If you treat it like a trophy, you will hold it up. If you treat it like a trust, you will build with it. Pharaoh didn't need a celebrity. He needed a solution. So bring me glory first, then bring your wisdom. Lead with worship, then with work. Say clearly, it is not in me, and then steward what I put in you. That is not false humility. That is true authority. Here is how you walk through the door without losing yourself. 1. Center your confession. Before you answer the crisis, announce the source. Credit God publicly, not just privately. James 1:17. 2. Submit to process. Learn the room. Ask clarifying questions. Do not confuse access with autonomy. Favor grants entry. Faithfulness earns endurance. Luke 16:10. 3. Serve the problem, not your profile. Diagnose, design, and deliver. Joseph didn't pitch a brand. He proposed a blueprint. Gather, store, allocate, and govern with foresight. Genesis 41:33-36. 4. Guard your spirit. No boasting, no bitterness, no back-channeling for applause. Keep your heart low while I lift your influence high. 1 Peter 5:6. Move swiftly but stay steady. Prepare quickly, not anxiously. Breathe a prayer. Review what I taught you in small rooms. Organize your notes. Simplify your message. Speak plainly. Resist theatrics. Excellence is love people can feel, and clarity is kindness under pressure. If I open the door in a day, do not cram a decade of vindication into a minute of introduction. Do not use the microphone to settle scores. Use it to save people. This elevation is not merely to prove them wrong. It is to make them right, fed in famine, guided in confusion, preserved in crisis. Keep these boundaries at the threshold. Peace, not pressure. Reverence, not rush. Listening, not loudness. Defer praise upward. Share credit outward. Carry blame inward long enough to repent where needed and learn quickly. Stay submitted. Stay teachable. Stay grateful. Seek counsel. Gather wise voices. Proverbs 11:14. Keep your prayer rhythm, your word diet, your Sabbath guardrails. Promotion tests your private devotions more than your public decisions, and when the room recognizes grace on you, they may clothe you in their authority. Genesis 41:42. Wear it as assignment, not identity. Rings tarnish, mantles remain, titles can shift, calling stays. Walk in, eyes on me, hands ready to work, heart set to serve. Keep serving, keep stepping, keep trusting. Do not rush it, do not perform it, embody it. The door is open. Build what I brought you here to build. Now hear why I lift you. I did not raise Joseph to decorate a throne. I raised him to distribute bread. 7 years of plenty were not a flex. They were a stewardship plan. He gathered, stored, systematized. So when the 7 years of famine began to come, the famine was in all lands. Egypt had grain, and all the earth came to Joseph to buy grain. Genesis 41:53-57. Elevation was mercy in motion, strategy for survival, preservation for nations and for the family line through which promise would run. Heaven calls that promotion. Earth felt it as provision. So reframe this in your spirit. What I put in your hand is meant to pass through your hand. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's bread. Your table becomes a distribution center. Your wisdom becomes shelter in a storm not everyone prepared for. Your influence becomes irrigation for dry fields. Keep this beat in your bones. Your gift is not just for you. Your increase is not just for you. If you mistake the palace for a mirror, you will spend your days admiring what I meant for feeding. Do not turn storehouses into shrines. Do not hoard what I entrusted for harvest. Let me expose the subtle leak in your heart. You want elevation to prove people wrong. You imagine the spotlight as closure for old wounds. You rehearse speeches more than you plan systems. That is not why I open doors. Joseph did not stand before his brothers with receipts. He stood with resources. God sent me before you to preserve life. Genesis 45:5-7. And later he confessed the larger math. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive. Genesis 50:20. Promotion is not revenge, it is rescue. Not payback, pay it forward. So begin stewarding like a deliverer now, not later. 1. Think in systems. Budget the plenty. Build processes that sustain generosity. Track, store, allocate. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Proverbs 21:5. 2. Practice disciplined margins. Save in summer for winter. Live beneath increase so you can lift others above lack. Proverbs 6:6-8. 2 Corinthians 9:10. 3. Grow emotional maturity. Put away childish reactions that spend trust quickly. 1 Corinthians 13:11. Leaders who bleed on the bread contaminate the loaf. Heal with me so you can handle hungry people without needing them to fix you first. 4. Prepare for reconciliation. I will seat the hungry who also hurt you at your table. So pre-forgive, pray blessing, and choose peace as far as it depends on you. Romans 12:18. Your generosity will be your vindication. Train your instincts toward overflow. Plan your giving. Schedule your service. Pre-decide your yes to assignments that feed people, spiritually, practically, emotionally. Keep your hands open. Open hands receive seed and release bread. 2 Corinthians 9:10-11. Speak like a steward, not an owner. It is not in me. God will give an answer. Lead with worship, then with wise distribution. Audit your motives. If applause rises, humble yourself. If scarcity whispers, declare my sufficiency. Keep serving, keep stepping, keep trusting. This is the kingdom calculus, elevation that widens tables, not egos, favor that builds silos of grain for famines you cannot yet see, influence that becomes a hallway for multitudes to walk through alive. My promotion is rarely private. It is provision designed to bless others. Your gift is not just for you. Your increase is not just for you. So gather with foresight, store with integrity, distribute with compassion, and watch me multiply what passes through surrendered hands. And then comes the holy test of promotion. The faces that bruised you now stand hungry before what I put in you. Genesis 42 opens that door. Old pain walks into new authority, and how you handle it reveals whether you are healed or merely elevated. We assume success heals wounds, but the truth is, success often exposes them. Power amplifies what purity has or has not settled. Titles give you levers. Only healing keeps you from pulling them for payback. Joseph recognized his brothers. They did not recognize him. Genesis 42:8. That is how old stories re-enter, familiar to your heart, foreign to your new season. He spoke roughly, then wept privately. Genesis 42:7, 43:30. Hear the honesty, pain remembered, tears released, self-mastery maintained. He did not weaponize access. He stewarded it. He allowed the ache to surface, but he refused to let it script revenge. That is your exam. When the room bends toward you, will you bend toward me? Watch Joseph's lens, because it must become your own. Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. Genesis 45:5-7. And later, with history complete. You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Genesis 50:20. He did not deny their sin. He denied it the power to define the narrative. Human intent was wicked. Divine intention overruled it for salvation. I did not author their evil. I authored the rescue. Hold both truths, and you will stay tender under authority. So here is your obedience where reconciliation meets responsibility. 1. Forgive without pretending. Name what happened. Renounce revenge. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you. Ephesians 4:32. Forgiveness is not amnesia. It is the refusal to be an executioner. 2. Set wise boundaries. Joseph tested, observed, and required truth. Genesis 42-44. He created a path for trust to be rebuilt without handing out unguarded access. Boundaries are compassion with a backbone. 3. Refuse revenge. Feed those who famished you. Bless, do not curse. Romans 12:14, 19-21. Leave justice to me. Leave generosity to you. 4. Let me rewrite the story without you rewriting your character. Joseph wept, embraced, and spoke peace. Genesis 45:14-15. Keep your tears. Keep your tenderness. Authority with tears is safe. Let me reassure you, your forgiveness does not minimize your trauma. It maximizes your freedom. Bitterness chains you to the very history I am redeeming. Hebrews 12:15. Unforgiveness promises protection and delivers a prison. Forgiveness hands me the gavel and hands you your future. As far as it depends on you, live at peace. Romans 12:18. Do not narrate your holiness by their apology. Narrate it by my cross. Prepare now for your I am Joseph moment. Genesis 45:3-4. Pre-decide your response. Practice words of life, not ledgers of loss. Draw near. God sent me before you to preserve life. Invite proximity with wisdom. Offer provision without sarcasm. Speak destiny without demanding debt. Keep serving, keep stepping, keep trusting. Peace, not pressure. Mercy, not manipulation. Healing, not headlines. When your hidden season ends, your healing must be visible in how you handle those who wounded you. Let mercy take the microphone. Let purpose lead the room. And watch me turn what harmed you into bread that keeps others alive. Now rise and hear this commission. The pattern has been laid before you not as a history lesson, but as a present invitation. Pit, separation. House, service, prison, endurance, palace, assignment. Each was a chapter of holy construction, and you have not been punished. You have been prepared. If you recognize Joseph's pattern in your life and respond with integrity, service, and endurance, you can trust that your hidden season is not a grave, but a greenhouse. I have trained you in silence, so I can trust you in sound. So what do you do now? 5 positioning moves. Simple, repeatable, daily obedience that readies you for sudden shift. 1. Keep serving faithfully. Excellence is your language in every room. Show up early. Do the unseen work with seen love. Steward small with the same joy you would bring to a stage. Luke 16:10. Promotion finds servants, not spectators. 2. Keep your integrity uncompromised. Guard your yes. Sharpen your no. Refuse shortcuts that require you to dim your worship, hide your values, or trade purity for proximity. Your future cannot rest on what your character will later have to tear down. Peace, not pressure. Conviction, not compromise. 3. Keep your gift sharpened. Practice until excellence is reflex. Study until wisdom becomes instinct. 2 Timothy 2:15. Prepare outlines, systems, solutions no one has asked for yet. When Pharaoh calls, you will not scramble. You will simply step into work you already carry. 4. Keep counsel close. You need eyes that are not dazzled by your dream. Without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors they succeed. Proverbs 15:22. Invite correction. Welcome caution. Ask your circle to test your motives, refine your plans, and hold your story to truth. 5. Keep your worship intact. Do not let waiting mute your mouth. Sing in the cell, pray in the corridor, give thanks in small wins. Worship is how you carry weight without warping your soul. It keeps the throne occupied by me, not by outcomes. Now search your heart with me. Am I getting cleaner or colder? Am I more humble or more angry? Am I obedient or just frustrated? These questions are not condemnation, they are calibration. If you find drift, repent quickly and realign. If you find faithfulness, take courage. It is a sign the door is near. Set your house in order. Simplify your calendar. Finish assignments. Organize what you've built. Heal what you can heal. Reconcile where it depends on you. Pack wisdom, not resentment. Prepare as if I will call today. Persevere as if I may wait another year. Both stances are faith. Do not rush it. Do not resist it. Embrace it. Keep serving. Keep stepping. Keep trusting. Your story isn't over. The hidden season is ending. And when God brings you out, it will be with purpose, timing, and glory. I am aligning you for a sudden transition into purpose-filled promotion. Walk in ready, walk in clean, walk in worship.